We'll also recap some of those top victories in Coach Carr's first 100. And we'll look ahead and scout a very tough group of Northwestern Wildcats. All that and more coming up next. Michigan Replay with Lloyd Carr is brought to you in part by Abso Pure Water, delivering quality bottled water since 1908. By Sirius Satellite Radio. By State Farm, providing insurance and financial services. And by Chevrolet. Chevy drives the Motor City. See your Detroit area Chevy dealers today or log on to DetroitAreaChevyDealers.com.
Hey, right here, this is a 100th game ball. Coach Carr's we're going to finish the season with 104 wins, so hey.
I want to say this to you. Michigan is team, and it's family, and that's what this ball means to me. All those guys, and I'm glad to be here with you to accept it, but and it means a lot to me.
How about that? A Michigan Replay exclusive inside the locker room. Your 100th victory, and the kids give you the team ball, and that was neat.
Well, that was a special moment, Jim.
It really was, and I like,
we've had a lot of special moments, and that was.
I like the fact that you said, you know, it's been a lot of guys, a lot of other players. They were the ones that got the 100th, but you probably remember over the years the other guys, don't you?
Well, I certainly do, and I just take this opportunity. Those guys that are watching,
well, they're all watching. They all watch Michigan
They
Replay.
don't miss this show.
There's one thing I want to say to you, though. You know, you got to get a little bit better at this instead of taking these things into overtime and down the road. Michigan wins 23-20 over Iowa. Why don't you get an easier one a little bit?
It's this team.
My heart can't take it.
This team, that's.
We're going to start calling them Carr's Cardiac Kids.
Well, they're a cardiac group, that's for sure.
Well, it was an absolutely great victory in Iowa City, tough place to play. And it started out with Iowa doing the job on their first possession.
Jim, they've had unbelievable success in scoring on their first possession here. In man coverage, the big tight end, Chandler, 6'7", 250 pounds, makes a good move, gets some separation. Here we got a young linebacker, and we turn the isolation play outside instead of back inside. And this guy's a pretty good back here, I'll tell you.
He is. Then they get a touchdown pass again. They isolate a linebacker on a running back, and he's able to get in. Grigsby, that gives Iowa the 7-0 lead.
Well, Jim, they blacked out the stadium. Everybody in that stadium was wearing black, and it was an enthusiastic crowd, and that's exactly what they wanted to do to get off to this kind of start.
Now, here's a play where John Falk, your equipment manager, gets hurt.
Yeah, unfortunately, right there, John broke his leg. He's going to have surgery next week. It's a bad break. He's a warrior, this guy.
Yeah, he is. He was disappointed he couldn't come back on the field, but we're wishing him all the best, and we hope surgery goes well. John's all right, and he's in good spirits.
Well, here, Jim, Iowa interferes with Steve's opportunity to catch the ball. We get a 15-yard penalty. I think it was an excellent call on the field. I know Kirk disagrees, but here we got a good drive going here. Mike on the draw play, or that's Kevin Grady.
Right, and then you go Kevin Grady on the pitch sweep, and this play turned out to be a good one.
Well, we had some success with this play, and Kevin did a good job cutting it back several times in this game.
Now here comes Mike Hart. This is after he got hurt, but here's where you can see he's not the same with the ankle.
Well, Chad checks it down, and we get a good gain there, but Mike hurt his ankle early in the game and missed most of it. Here,
yeah, second quarter, and Avant makes a great catch and a nice route.
Well, off play action, we got the linebackers up in there. Chad made a good throw. And then here, a play that we put in this week, he gets Jason isolated on a linebacker, gets behind him, and a great catch. Jason Avon had a magnificent game.
Oh, he was spectacular. That ties it up at 7. But their next possession, they come back and take the lead.
Well, we're midway in the second quarter here, and they hurt us with the stop route out there, 3 deep coverage. Solomon's quite a football player.
And their tight end hurt you early, which you fixed later on in the game.
Well, he made a great catch here, and Drew Tate made a great throw, and Iowa in the first half put together 2 great drives. Culminated here. He hits their young receiver Grigsby for a touchdown. And it's not the way we want to play in this game. We just have not been able to do much offensively.
14-7 at that point. They get the ball back right before half, and you guys defensively step up big time.
Well, Pierre Woods had an excellent game today, did a lot of good things, and that was great to see. And that play at the end of the half kept them out of field goal range.
At 14-7 at that point, on the road, the crowd's really into it. What were you thinking going into half? But defensively or offensively, you had to get kind of off the dime.
Well, you know, the thing we talked about at halftime is we're only down 7 points, and we have not played well. We got to do a better job against the run, and offensively, we got to sustain some drives.
All right, when we come back, we'll see the second half highlights. But first, we hear from Steve Breston. Talks about these overtime thrillers are fun to play in.
I can say it's stressful. It's fun. You know, this is what football should be like. You know, it's just I mean, 2 teams come out there and just played hard, and we was able to come out on top.
We had to come in at halftime, make a couple adjustments. Coaches set us up in the right position to make plays. So, you know, when coach make good adjustments, players make good plays.
Well, for the first time in the season, Michigan trailed at halftime. Did you know that?
No,
At this game, 14-7,
really.
that was the first time you trailed at half.
Well,
Oh, so
that's not. I'd rather be ahead, wouldn't you?
I would too. But the key is, when you came out in the third quarter in this one, you got a big turnover right away, and that helped, I think, turn the momentum.
Well, there's no question. We needed something to happen, and our defense made it happen here with good coverage. He came down to his second receiver, and the ball got deflected. And this young freshman, Brandon Harrison, found the ball, and now we got a chance to have the ball at the short end of the field.
And you gamble. Here's a 4th and 3.
4th and 3, and we run the naked out there and hit our crossing receiver for a big first
That's the
down.
naked bootleg.
Yes, it
You
is.
don't want to just call it naked, because
no.
Chad was fully clothed.
Well, here's a great call on Terry Malone. And if Antonio had got the ball to Jason a little bit faster, we'd have had a touchdown. We missed a fade route in the end zone by inches. A great throw. We just couldn't hook it up. And now we got to kick a field goal. That was disappointing.
Well, 14-10 still, and you're in. And the defense is playing all right. Even though I may move the ball a little bit, the defense is still playing pretty decent.
Well, we're playing well, and we've gotten them into some long yardage situations. But this Drew Tate and Iowa found a way to complete some passes. Here they hit 2 deep coverage, and Brandon's just a little bit late getting over, but a big gain down inside.
But you defended the run better in the second.
Right here we do a great job. John Thompson came off the bench. Chris Graham was banged up a little bit and did a great job in there, as did Sean Crable and some other guys. Here we get a hand on the kick, Jim. I think that ball would have been good had we not get our hand on the ball.
And that kept it at 14-10. Now, here's a controversial call. They called this a fumble. And you can see the ground caused it, but they get the ball. Iowa gets it.
It's not a good call, and I don't know how they reversed it, but he had possession of the ball. The official made the right call. So I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what the reason is here. But Alan Branch, great pressure up the middle, and Prescott Burgess coming around, and Tate steps up, and Burgess gets a sack. We get the ball back.
And that forces them to punt, takes them out of field goal range. And then Jerome Jackson really picks up the offense.
Well, he gave us a great lift. And there, we got the ball on our own 12-yard line, and Jerome hits an off-tackle play. Not much crease in there, but he found it, got us a first down. And then Chad Henne throws to Jason. What a great catch this was.
And then coming up is the play of the game for you, a screen to Breston.
Well, there's no question. There's Carl Tam and Jason Avon. And I think Greenway there had a shot at Steve, but he's pretty slippery and made the biggest play of the game for us.
And that was in the 4th quarter, put you ahead 17-14 for the first time. But with 2:42 left, Iowa gets the ball and starts to charge back.
Well, they hit us too deep coverage. Brandon got caught up in there and didn't get enough depth, and Tate threw a strike in there. And they got the ball, and this is maybe the biggest play of the game for us. Iowa ran the shovel pass.
3rd and 2.
And Jamar Adams made a phenomenal play, doing exactly what he was supposed to do. His man coverage and came off, and now we're back in overtime, Jim.
But that tackle forced them to go for the field goal. It was a big play on a 3rd and 2. And you go to OT. And in OT, they get the ball first.
Well, our defense gave up a first down on a pass interference call. And here was a big play because now they got 2nd and long, and we hold, and they have to settle for a field goal.
And this, again, is into the student end, but it's with the win. And this time, Schlicker puts it through. But that puts them up 20-17, and you get the ball with a chance. If you score a touchdown, you win it. And here's the pass.
Well, that's what we talked about. Here's a second boot that we throw. And there's a guy in the flat who's actually well defended, but Chad threw the ball behind Jason. I don't know how he made the catch. But on first down, we get a good run down in there. And then we run the off-tackle play and win the game. Great play.
Jerome Jackson goes in, and he was the 4th back that you went to. And that's just, again, a great example of how if you keep working at it and you keep going, you're going to get your chance. And Jerome took the best of his opportunity.
Jim, I don't remember a game where we had more guys come in and step up. Sean Crable gave us some great plays in there. Jake Long got some playing time for the first time this year.
But you also had a defensive line that was decimated. Lamar Woodley only played 2 snaps. You had Terrence Taylor in there. You had a lot of guys come in and make plays.
Yes, we did. And, of course, that's really what a team is all about. But this was truly a great team victory for us.
And on the road, and it was 2 in a row. And again, the resiliency of this football team is pretty amazing. I just think from going from the frying pan at Penn State in overtime, or last second to win it, and now this one on the road to win it in OT.
Well, it's 2 great weeks for us. I think we're coming together as a team. We got to get some guys healthy, but it's certainly going to give us some momentum. And Jim, when you go in, Iowa's in first place in the conference, and you go in there to Iowa City and play and come out of there with a win in overtime, you've done something you can be proud of.
You aren't lying. When we come back, we'll take a look back at some of those 100 victories from Coach Carr. First, we hear from Jerome Jackson. Talks about picking up the slack. That's his job. It's no big deal.
No pressure. I mean, I'm a veteran on the team now, you know. This is my 3rd season. So I just looked up to the sky, and I just asked God to give me the strength, and he did it. I just, like I said before, I just thank my coaches and my offensive linemen, man. They gave me a great push down there on the goal line, and we've been practicing goal line all year, and our linemen, they stepped up today.
Coach Carr's march to 100 started in 1995. He was in his first year as Michigan's head coach, and when he first got the job, the word interim was tagged on the title. Win number 1 came in dramatic fashion in his first game as the Wolverines came back from 17 down in the 4th quarter to beat Virginia 18-17 on the last play of the game.
Dreifach under center. Back pedals, has time. Going right corner to Mercury. Hey, it's got it. Virginia out of bounds or in. Touchdown! Touchdown! Unbelievable! Michigan wins! Michigan wins!
Win number 8 came that season in absolutely horrible weather as Michigan beat Purdue 5-0. It was significant, though, because immediately after the win, the interim tag was removed from Coach Carr's title. The rest is history. In his first 3 years, he chalked up 29 wins, including 3 straight over Ohio State. And win number 29 came at the Rose Bowl over Washington State when he and his Wolverines completed a perfect 12-0 season and claimed the national championship.
You have left a wonderful legacy for every team that ever follows you. You just won the national championship.
2 straight 10-win seasons followed 1997. And on January 1st of the new century, Coach Carr won his 49th game in a BCS overtime thriller over Alabama in the Orange Bowl, 35-34.
Brady rolling right, firing a pass caught by Thompson at the 10, the 5, touchdown, Michigan. Woo! Sean Thompson on the first play of overtime. This will tie it if he makes it. Here's the snap, placed down, the kick is up. He missed it to the right. He missed it. Michigan wins the Orange Bowl.
Since the start of the 2000 season, the Wolverines have averaged nearly 9 wins per year. In that period, they have won 3 Big Ten championships. And Michigan's greatest comeback victory in history, it was Coach Carr's 80th win, and it came against Minnesota on the road when trailing 28-7 in the third quarter. The Wolverines exploded for 31 points in the final quarter to win it 38-35.
Here's the snap, placed down, Reba's kick on the way, high enough, long enough, and it is good! Michigan has taken the lead at Minnesota 38-35.
A year later, win number 94 was another beauty, trailing by 17 with 8:43 left against Michigan State. Michigan devastated the Spartans with 17 unanswered points as Braylon Edwards made play after amazing play, and the Wolverines went on to a thrilling 45-37 triple overtime win.
Edwards has it, 10-5, touchdown!
And now against Iowa on Saturday, Lloyd Carr notched his 100th win as Michigan's head coach. 100 wins in 10 seasons and 8 games. Remarkable. Congratulations, Coach. Happy 100th with hopes of many more to come. Lloyd Carr, 100 victories in a pink locker room.
Pink locker
get
room.
your 100.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, it's gone fast, hasn't it? It's amazing when you look back at the guys that played. It's like that was yesterday, and yet you got 8, 9-year veterans in the NFL that we watched play.
Yeah, a lot of great players and even more great people.
And it's like children, you can't say which one's your favorite, can you?
No.
That first one had to be special.
Well, you know, I'll never. I always feel bad because Scott Dreisbach, who got off to such a great start there and hurt his hand in practice and was never the same as a quarterback, but certainly in my mind, that throw he made to Mercury Hayes will always be one of the special plays in my life.
It will be one of the special plays in a lot of Michigan fans' lives. And 100 victories for Coach Carr. When we come back, he's going for number 101, but it's against Northwestern, and they're tough. We'll come back and take a look at their scouting report, but first we hear from Pierre Woods, who talks about the Wildcats bringing some big problems to the Wolverines.
It's going to be tough next week, too. I mean, you got another Brent Bazinet. I played with him all-star game. He's a great quarterback. He's going to run around and throw and all that, and they're going to watch this film, and they're going to say, well, we're going to try to pick away Michigan, these little parts and everything. So we just got to get back on the drawing board and come back and get focused and win the game.
The locker room.
You know, they're a great team. They were last year, and they're really coming on at the end of the season. But, you know, so are we. And I think that, you know, we'll have a good week and we'll come out strong.
Well, Jake Long, that's an amazing story. Here's a kid that was hurt in a preseason. Didn't think he'd be back all year. And yet here he comes in and plays this game Saturday against Iowa.
I don't know how he's done it. He's got a great will.
You said he's a tough kid.
Oh, but his discipline in rehabbing that injury is really special.
Well, you got your hands full again next week. You're on the road and you play Northwestern. And this team offensively, nobody stopped him, have they?
No, and I think Brett Bazinet is one of the great quarterbacks in the country, Jim. He's having an incredible year, averaging 311 yards per game. Still 12 touchdown passes and only 1 interception. And he runs the football. He scored 2 touchdowns against Michigan State on Saturday, running and threw 2. So this guy is really the guy that makes him go.
And they've got a freshman running back that's real quick.
Well, he's had an exceptional year when you consider he's averaging 6 yards a carry, as a true freshman. They're going to spread us out, put a lot of people out there, and then run the option and try to hit the creases and throw. And he's an outstanding passer.
Defensively, they've given up a lot of yardage, but they got some players. McGargle's a good linebacker, and Marquise Cole's a pretty outstanding corner who can really return punts.
Well, Jim, this guy is you've got to be leading the nation in punt returns. But it's an explosive, offensive football team scores a lot of points.
Is your job to keep that offense off the field? Is it to control the football, shorten the game?
Well, absolutely. That's what you want to do, and that's what we'll try to do. And but we've got to score points because nobody has stopped Northwestern. I don't think anyone will.
All right, here's the other question on that is, what about the situation of getting into a track meet with them? That's not what you want to do, right? You don't want to trade.
No, we don't want to.
But you've played spread offenses. It kind of gives you a little bit of a.
Well,
are they different?
There's no question. They're going to run the football with the quarterback a lot, like Penn State did. We've had a lot of work against spread offenses, but this, because of this quarterback, I think is an excellent thrower, very accurate. I think this is the best offensive team we've played.
Wow. Hey, congratulations on your 100th. Hopefully you get that 101st next week.
Thank you, Jim.
All right. That's the story from Michigan Replay. It's going to be a dandy next week. The Wolverines on the road against Northwestern. Be here to watch it all. Same time, same place on Michigan Replay.